The Pyramid on the Dollar, Masonic and Esoteric Meaning of the Great Seal. Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Money Magic series. Take a single US dollar bill and hold it up to the light. On one side, George Washington stares back. On the other, two circles hold what might be the most analyzed and misunderstood symbols in modern history: the Great Seal of the United States. On the left, the unfinished pyramid crowned by the all-seeing eye. On the right, the eagle grasping arrows and an olive branch. Today, we focus on the pyramid, the stone mountain of 13 steps, the radiant eye floating above, the Latin mottos that frame it. This design has provoked centuries of speculation. Was it Masonic? Was it Egyptian? Was it a coded map to hidden power? To answer, we need to trace the pyramid on the dollar through history, symbolism, and ritual, until we see not just an image, but an entire architecture of belief etched into a nation's money. Why a pyramid? The pyramid is not a Native American structure. The founders of the United States did not live among pyramids. They lived among colonial houses, native earthworks, and European-style state buildings. So why stamp a pyramid into the Great Seal? Because the pyramid was already a global symbol of antiquity, endurance, and hierarchy. To Europeans in the 18th century, the Egyptian pyramids represented the oldest surviving monuments of human civilization, structures that had stood for millennia, resisting time, weather, and war. By choosing a pyramid, the designers of the seal were saying, "This republic will endure like Egypt, rooted, immovable, eternal." But it was not just Egypt they were channeling. Renaissance esotericism had reinterpreted pyramids as symbols of divine order. Hermetic and Masonic thinkers viewed the pyramid as a geometric key to the mysteries, a structure that combined mathematics, astronomy, and spirituality. Its triangular faces pointed upward, connecting earth to sky. Its base was square, a symbol of matter and stability. Its apex was a point, symbol of unity and spirit. To place a pyramid on the seal was to inscribe geometry into government. Stability at the base, aspiration at the peak. The 13 steps. Count the steps on the pyramid. There are 13. Officially, they stand for the 13 colonies that declared independence. But 13 is no random number. In numerology, 13 is the number of death and rebirth, of transformation. It follows 12, the number of completeness, 12 months, 12 signs, 12 apostles. 13 begins a new cycle, a new order. For a nation born in revolution, 13 was perfect. Masonic interpretations add another layer. Freemasonry works through degrees of initiation, steps of knowledge leading from apprentice to master. The pyramid steps mirror that climb, layers of initiation, labor, and ascent. To ascend the pyramid is to rise through ranks of understanding, reaching closer to the radiant eye. Whether or not the seal's creators intended this, the resonance was unmistakable to those steeped in Masonic imagery. The Eye of Providence. Hovering above the pyramid is the eye enclosed in a triangle, surrounded by rays of light. This is the Eye of Providence, a Christian symbol of God's watchfulness. You can find it in Renaissance paintings, church frescoes, and altars across Europe. But its placement above a pyramid creates an esoteric fusion. It suggests that the unfinished work of the Republic will be completed under divine oversight, that a higher power blesses the project. In Masonic lodges, the all-seeing eye was used as a reminder that a great architect watched over all actions. In Hermetic thought, the eye symbolized illumination, the inner awakening of gnosis. In ancient Egypt, the eye was linked to Horus, the falcon god whose right eye represented the sun, whose left eye represented the moon, both carrying protective and restorative power. By placing an eye above the pyramid, the seal designers connected American governance to a long lineage of watchful divinity and secret knowledge. Latin mottos, Annuit Coeptis and Novus, Ordo Seclorum beneath and above the pyramid, run two Latin inscriptions. Annuit Coeptis means, "He has favored our undertakings," usually read as a claim that Providence smiled upon the founding of the United States, but it functions like a ritual affirmation. The pyramid project is blessed. The work of stone is divinely sanctioned. Below the pyramid, Novus Ordo Seclorum translates as a new order of the ages. This is not New World Order in the conspiratorial sense, but a phrase drawn from Virgil's poetry, celebrating the dawn of a new era. Yet in context, it cannot help but sound eschatological. A new order of the ages is exactly what revolutions claim to inaugurate, and what esoteric traditions promise: the breaking of one cycle, the birth of another. Together, the pyramid and mottos announce that the Republic is both ancient and new, blessed and unfinished, earthly and stone, yet overseen by heaven. Masonic and esoteric influences. So was the pyramid on the dollar the work of Freemasons? The truth is nuanced. Several of the seal's designers, like Benjamin Franklin, were Masons. Others, like Charles Thomson, were not. The imagery they chose, pyramid, eye, Latin mottos, came from classical, Christian, and esoteric sources common in the 18th century. But to contemporaries steeped in Masonry, alchemy, and Hermeticism, the symbolism would have resonated instantly. Freemasonry in particular revered architecture as metaphor. Lodges spoke of the great architect of the universe, modeled rituals on the building of Solomon's temple, and used tools like compasses and squares as symbols of moral and spiritual construction. A pyramid with an eye above it fit seamlessly into this symbolic universe. Whether or not it was meant as an explicitly Masonic stamp, it carried Masonic overtones, and later generations of Masons embraced it as their own. Numerology and hidden codes. Beyond the obvious symbols, the Great Seal hides subtler numerology. The unfinished pyramid has 72 stones, a number tied to the Shem HaMephorash, the 72 names of God in Kabbalistic tradition. The number also links to precession of the equinoxes, since the Earth's axis shifts 1 degree every 72 years. Such layering may have been intentional or coincidental, but either way it reveals how the pyramid was read by esoteric interpreters. The date inscribed in Roman numerals at the base, 1776, or MDCCLX6, is itself a declaration of both history and hidden meaning. M, 1000, D, 500, C, war 100, L, war 50, X, war 10, V, war 5, I, war 1. To those who play with numbers, the sum and arrangement are fertile ground for mystical readings. The pyramid is spell. Why place all this on money? Because money is the most circulated talisman in the modern world. A bill passes through millions of hands, eyes, and wallets. Its symbols are rehearsed endlessly, absorbed subconsciously, repeated like a mantra. The pyramid on the dollar is not just a design, it is a spell. It tells every holder, you live in a system that is ancient, divinely overseen, enduring, and unfinished. It repeats this message so often it becomes invisible, like a background hum. But invisibility is power. A visible symbol can be questioned. An invisible one works directly on the unconscious. Global echoes. The pyramid on the dollar is not alone. Many nations embed esoteric or sacred symbols in their currency. The euro uses bridges and arches. China uses dragons and gates. Islamic currencies use stars and geometric lattices. But the American pyramid has become the most iconic, in part because of America's global reach, and in part because its symbolism is so stark. The pyramid is the structure of power, the eye is the watcher, the motto is the destiny. Together, they broadcast an esoteric creed through every transaction. Why it endures. The seal was designed in 1782, but it was not placed on currency until 1935, when President Franklin D. Roosevelt approved its use on the dollar. Why then? The Great Depression had shaken belief in the system. Banks collapsed, unemployment soared, confidence evaporated. Placing the Great Seal on the currency was a ritual act of reassurance. It reminded the public that the American project was overseen, favored, destined for endurance. In a moment of crisis, the pyramid eye seal became a talisman of faith. That is why it endures. Symbols on currency are not changed lightly. They are anchors of belief. The pyramid on the dollar continues to whisper that the system is immovable, that it stands on ancient foundations, that it is watched and blessed. Whether one interprets it as Masonic, Christian, or simply esoteric, the effect is the same. It stabilizes faith in money itself. To see the pyramid on the dollar is to see how money and magic intertwine. It is architecture and geometry, religion and revolution, surveillance and blessing, all collapsed into one image. It is the spell that turns paper into power, transaction into ritual, and belief into reality. Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Manifestation series, where we don't just talk about manifesting, we master it. Because let's be honest, manifestation has been watered down, reduced to vague quotes, mood boards, and empty promises. But you didn't come here to wish. You came here to build a reality that hits different. A reality that responds to your frequency, your language, your alignment, and your decision to stop playing small. This series is not fluff. It's physics, frequency, and fierce creative power. Inside the Manifestation series, you're going to learn how to collapse timelines, shift identities, and speak worlds into existence, just like the greatest minds in history. This isn't just about being positive. This is about being powerful. Here's what you unlock inside. Vision to Reality, the Vision Board course. You've heard about vision boards, but you've never done them like this. This is a full energetic ritual, a precision-coded map for your subconscious, designed to bridge image, frequency, and strategy. It's not arts and crafts. It's blueprinting your future in visual form and turning it into matter. Time, quantum timelines, and why time isn't real. Manifestation doesn't take time. It takes alignment. In this module, I'll show you how time is just a mirror of energy and how to collapse timelines using choice, clarity, and vibration. Past, present, future, they're happening now. And when you know how to navigate time quantum style, you stop waiting and start receiving. Quantum jumping, instantly up level. Your next level life isn't years away. It's one decision away. In this training, you'll learn how to quantum jump, how to shift into a version of you that already has what you desire. This isn't fantasy. It's how high-performance creators, athletes, and spiritual masters leap beyond limits. Jump now. Land in power. Every word, the power of affirmations and spoken language. Words build worlds. In this course, I show you how to use affirmations like spell work, not just repeating empty mantras, but speaking with vibration, intention, and spiritual force. If you've ever felt like affirmations don't work, this will change everything. You'll learn to command your field, not just request from it. The greats, learning from the most exceptional minds in history. We're not the first to master this. In this legendary module, we decode the techniques, habits, and quantum genius of the world's most powerful manifestors, from ancient sages to modern icons. You'll learn how to think like the greats, move like the greats, and manifest like the greats. This isn't another feel-good series. This is a spiritual weapon, disguised as a manifestation course. It's made for leaders, cycle breakers, visionaries, and soul builders. You don't need another wish list. You need a system that teaches you how to bend reality. This is that system. So if you're ready to stop playing with potential and start creating results, welcome to your next level. The manifestation series is open now. You know what to do. Let's build what they said was impossible and make it inevitable.